So I'm joining this action because when I first came to this country, I think like the year after the Dream Act, the first original Dream Act was introduced, 2001. And ever since then, we've been fighting for this. At different capacities, some of us, but it's just been a long time coming, and we're tired. We're so tired of waking up in our home and not feeling at home. And we're tired of the political games. We're tired of people making this political issue or a party issue when it's our lives that are at stake. And when we have done everything we can to be contributing members of society and to do what was kind of like a promise of what, like when you work hard, you'll be able to become successful and have the opportunities that you deserve. And that promise has not been kept for us. And we're exhausted of the uncertainty that we wake up to every day and the limbo that it puts us in. We want to be able to lead our normal lives just like anybody else.
And what does it mean, for example, like this, what has been happening, to extend or not extend the DACA versus the wall and the partitions? Like it's like you're between, or the government wants to put you and the first generation between the rock and a hard place.
Right. So what we're walking for is the Clean Dream Act, and the reason that we're doing that is because we're tired of our families being criminalized when we're glorified as dreamers and as kids who were just innocent and were brought here by the parents. Like, we didn't commit a crime. Our parents didn't commit a crime either.
Yeah.
Our parents migrated. Migration is a human right. Borders are an arbitrary concept, and we're fighting for their permanent protection too as we walk. The symbolism of our march represents 11 walkers that are being highlighted in this march, and that's because with the Clean Dream Act, we don't want to hurt the rest of our community, right? We don't want to take them down. We don't want a wall. We don't want them to face more drastic deportation measures because of a Clean Dream Act, right? So we're not willing to negotiate anything that lets down the rest of our community.
Yeah, well, that's very good. And for the people who doesn't know, there are many college students or students at the universities that they do not understand what it is to be a dreamer and what it is that all the time your parents are on a thin line, or what does it mean to be first generation on a college and you always worry if your parents may be deported or not.
Right. So accessibility for education is nearly impossible for undocumented youth. I grew up in Georgia, in very rural Georgia, and educational opportunities weren't great then either. But in Georgia, actually, undocumented youth are banned from the top 5 universities. We recently were able to get state tuition for documented folks, but undocumented youth are still being left out of unstate tuition. And even folks with DACA still can't attend now the top 3 universities in the state, which means that if I wanted to go to the University of Georgia, if I were valedictorian of my senior, class, and if I could pay tuition up front, I would still be denied because I don't have the proper documentation, and that to me is modern day segregation. So that's the first challenge, being undocumented and searching for education. So you really have to, pester other colleges, look for other opportunities. I had to leave my family, come to the north, and it's a little bit more accessible because people tend to be more accepting of undocumented status, and also private universities give you more funding. And so I was able to attend, but that meant leaving my family. That meant my parents having to literally work 16-hour work days to meet whatever was left after scholarships to pay for tuition, and that meant living with the guilt of knowing that I get the agency to do whatever I want with my life, to live the life that I want to live, and find my purpose and find what I want to study and find my calling, while my parents have had to worry about surviving their entire life, that have to worry about us surviving. And I think a lot of people say, my parents moved mountains for me. My parents literally moved countries for me so I could come here and get an education, and there's just a struggle within that too. Achieving that comes with a lot of guilt and a lot of a feeling like you are almost undeserving of this praise as a dreamer, as an undocumented youth, because our parents are the real dreamers. And just hearing the narratives of their criminalization while we're glorified is what makes us walk for precisely like a clean dream act, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And how do you feel? How many months so far have you been marching? This is the day number.
I think we're almost at 100.
Yeah, we're getting close to, I would say like close to 80, right?
We did
10 on the first day.
10 on the first
and about
day.
18 from there on.
18 every day, and then 19 today. So whatever that adds up to.
80. Yeah, so we're at 90-ish, around 90
Yeah, it's
miles.
almost at 100.
Wow. Yeah. So and besides, of course, like tired.
Yeah.
You must be very
You tell,
tired.
yeah.
So what has been your experience when arriving to some communities or cities or?
This is a good one.
This is a good one. I love this one.
Yeah.
I've been talking about this a lot in my updates, like when I go live and I update my folks back home on what's happening. And it's been amazing the way the communities that we've passed through, but also where we stayed, the way that they've welcomed us with so much love and support and solidarity and a certain warmness that I myself have needed in the last couple of months. As things have been moving forward with this administration, it's been really hard to feel like or believe really that what the administration, the rhetoric from the campaign until now has been
Very
that
violent.
is true. Well, what I'm saying is that I've doubted what people say, like, oh no, it's not the entire country is like that, like, you know what I mean? I've doubted it because I haven't gone around, but now going around through like now 3 states, right? And every city had just welcomed us with open arms and with so much love and food and everything that we've needed has been covered by community members, and it gives me a lot of hope. It inspires me to keep going because it makes me feel welcome, and it just solidifies for me, like in my heart, that I do belong here and like this is my country and that most people here want me here and they think I should stay and be able to just live happily.
Yeah. So on the welcoming in Germantown, it was very warm from the African American community.
Yeah.
So I think it was, I don't know.
Yeah, actually 86% of the American population supports a Clean Dream Act.
So how can we help if we are watching this short video? How can we help and how can we get engaged in your struggle? How can we support you?
You can follow the Seed Project on Facebook. It's the Seed Project, and you can share all of our posts. We have donation links there that you can, click on and donate as whatever you can give, $1, $2, $20, whatever. Anything helps, and just really amplifying our stories and being welcoming of folks who are immigrants from all, from all denominations, credences, whatever, and places. Another way you can also help, we are also, if you're an organizer, if you have community resources in terms of people taking action, we are asking folks to create solidarity actions in our favor to get people people out on the streets, to get people to join our movement. So if you are interested in that, we have phone calls at 9 p.m. every night for that, and you can also find those links on our Facebook page. They're pretty much on every post that we make, and they're called webinars.
Okay. And is there a petition for signing, or is something in particular like that, like a proposal of a law or something like that?
No, we don't have a petition.
Okay.
No, our ask is very simple.
Would you find it useful to have a petition?
We found that, we're a movement that is nonviolent and we take action. We don't necessarily believe that petitions are going to do anything for us.
Okay.
We need people to show up. So also like joining us on a few miles, or joining us looking into DC on March 1st. And the more support, the bigger the message we can send, which is really what we want and what we need. And it's really centering this on the stories, and like she mentioned, following the Seed Project on Facebook, and then amplifying the stories that are going to be shared every day. There's a story that's being one of the dreamers walking is their stories being shared through the day. So like sharing that so that people within your own networks online or through social media can get to know a dreamer or the people that are doing this walk.
Okay. And another question, so is it right? So there are 11 people who are walking right now.
Yeah, we're
11
walking
dreamers.
full time. There's 11 dreamers and an ally who are like being amplified and being shown. But we have a group of about 16 solid people with our support team, and they join us in the walk on and off. Some more than others because we have like medics, we have people who are running with our luggage and bringing it to the places, people who get our food. So we have a lot of support on the ground, and they join us on the walk on and off too.
Okay, but do you think 11 people? I mean, it's a good size, but if I'm thinking how many people are affected by this policy, like there should be more people outside on the street.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, definitely. Are you asking how many people are affected by this policy?
Yeah, I think there must be plenty of people who are.
Of course, yeah. There's 11 million undocumented people, and then all their family and some friends. Multiply that by 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Plus, even if they're not directly connected to somebody who's undocumented, like people under DACA are business owners who employ U.S. citizens who are not necessarily, direct family members of undocumented families or mixed status families.
Okay.
So we create jobs. We're your teachers. We work at your hospitals. Everybody's affected.
Yeah,
it's beyond
even undocumented people who don't have any kind of protection own businesses. I have family members who are completely undocumented, and then most of them own businesses because they've worked hard enough to earn those, right? They employ other people, they employ other immigrants, and so it's a chain effect.
The contribution of immigrants goes way beyond dreamers or the 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which it has been more put by the news, more isolated, just DACA or or with the stigma of migration. And so this is much wider.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's also really important that we're talking about our labor, we're talking about our contribution to economically to this country, but it's really, really important to know that we are worth way more than our productivity, that we're worth way more than our labor, and whatever contribution we can make to this country, we should be able to be accepted just for the basic reality that we are human beings, right? And not just because we can contribute something.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Do you want to give your names or?
Yeah, my name is Maria Duarte.
And my name is Aldo Solano.
Okay. Well, good luck and thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.